In the late 90s in New York City, Hank is a bartender with failed dreams and an alcohol problem. As an everyday man, he quickly finds himself in every man's worst nightmare: cat sitting. It doesn't take long for a coterie of villains to assemble in the search for Russ, Hank's neighbor. Hank's life unravels as he runs everywhere other than home. Chased, beaten, and chastised by Russian mobsters, Hasidic Jews, a Puerto Rican, and even the cops, Hank hustles to find a way out of the situation. Brought to you by the director of The Whale, Black Swan, and Requiem for a Dream comes a story that's a little lighter and might have been paid for by Big Seatbelt. Written by Charlie Huston, author of a novel by the same name, and directed by Darren Aronofsky. Caught Stealing.
Welcome to the Burnt or Buttered podcast, where we talk about movies.
That's right. I'm Toast.
And I'm Stetson. And today we are going to talk about caught stealing. And I think the question after that synopsis that is on everybody's mind is, who is Big Seatbelt?
Oh, man. Don't even get me started on Big Seatbelt. Have you ever heard of Click It or Ticket?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Click It, Don't Risk It?
No.
Oh, well, that was an ad from the 90s, actually. Big Seatbelt's been around nearly as long as the automobile has been around.
What are you talking about?
Some say that Big Seatbelt is just trying to keep us safe. You know,
Yeah.
I say Big Seatbelt is trying to control us, trying to keep us in one spot, trying to keep us in our seats, belted to our seat. Don't let them trick you. Don't let them fool you. Big Seatbelt's actually evil.
So you're saying caught stealing is just a big propaganda film about wearing your seatbelt?
If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Big Seatbelt is behind this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. There's a couple moments in this movie that everybody knows seatbelts come into play.
Well, and every time he gets into a car, he says, put your seatbelt on buckle up, you know.
And
big seatbelt.
Some people don't. In the 90s, a lot of people weren't.
Oh, that wasn't a thing in the 90s, yeah. In the 90s, we were riding around in the bed of a truck. Mm-hmm. No seatbelt, no nothing. And we were fine, you know?
We were sitting on the edge even.
Oh,
we were sitting on the tailgate.
We were doing everything that Big Seatbelt is against. And it was a simpler time. It was a better time.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I guess Big Seatbelt's trying to rewrite history, apparently.
Always have, always will.
Yeah, so caught stealing. What I am so surprised that Caught Stealing did so bad in the box office.
Yeah, I was going to say my biggest complaint about this movie was the fact that it only stayed in theaters for like a week or something.
I mean, it only earned almost $30 million. And with it cost them, let's see, $40 million. So they lost $10 million. I was going to say,
yeah, like this cast is huge. Like all these guys are big names pretty much.
Yeah, what happened? Because the advertising for it was there. Like there's plenty of trailers for it, and the trailers made it interesting enough to want to watch it. I mean, I remember seeing the trailer and thinking that I was going to see it for sure. Yeah, I wonder what happened.
I don't know. I know that a lot of people have a problem with Aronofsky. He's a director who makes movies that are sometimes too brutal, you know. Black Swan, The Whale. Some people say The Whale is a crime against humanity as a movie.
What?
I think just because I actually haven't even seen it.
You've never seen The Whale?
But this is what people online are saying.
I I remember seeing The Whale. I saw it because Brendan Fraser, it was like his first movie back, and everyone was talking about it, and everyone's giving him all of his flowers and everything else. And I'm just like, is this movie actually that good, or are we just celebrating Brendan Fraser? And so I was like, I have to see this movie just to see if he is actually that good in it. If there's actually something special. And there was. I mean, it was one of the most emotional movies that I've seen in a long time. And so whoever's saying that it's horrible.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying is I think that the stuff that he makes is so emotional and so brutal and makes you don't walk out of his movies thinking like that was a fun experience. But it leaves you thinking about things and
I think on that same vein, from Black Swan to The Whale to now Caught Stealing and was it Requiem, a Dream? I haven't seen that one.
And a few others.
He is very grounded in that the characters feel very human. The characters feel like your next door neighbor, or they feel like someone that you have met before. And that's what I really loved about this movie, Caught Stealing, is that there wasn't anything outrageous about the people. The people were just people. Like even the gangsters were just people.
Which, yes, and I also kind of disagree. Like I feel like the villains were almost like the villains in what was that most recent Jason Statham movie? A working man. I'm just a working man. It felt similar to that, where they're all characters. They're all like their own big personalities, even the Microbe. When I was trying to remember earlier, I kept on thinking like the maggot, I couldn't remember what he was, but the little Microbe, like that was almost like a Batman villain. You know?
But what I think about those is these people that are villainesque or they are bad doers or whatever. These guys don't follow the rules.
Yeah.
These guys have to be individuals. These guys have to have personality. These guys have to not care anything. And so that's what I saw in them. I saw that these people are just themselves 1000%, and they have to be crazy. They have to have something loose in their head, or the Jewish guys are just like doing the family bidding, they're just handling business every day, type what it is. But I didn't see, the one guy, the short guy, I can't remember his name. I did watch an interview where Aronofsky was talking about him.
The Microbe.
And he was like, I had my reservations about him because he's a pretty well-known actor now in like Russia. And so this was his first film outside of Russia.
Oh.
And he didn't know how he was going to do with him and stuff. And the scene that everyone was like, what the freak was that? Where he like gets on all fours and like rams him with his head.
That was crazy.
He said that was his idea. And he's like, yeah, like this guy, he's just crazy. He's like, I have this idea that I think would be interesting. And Aronofsky like let him do it. And he's like, yeah, we're going to keep it. And so a lot of that stuff that he did like was just him embodying this guy, getting into the mind frame of just this psychopath guy that just has so many screws loose that they keep him around because he's willing to just be the person that does the crazy things.
Which I wasn't complaining about at all.
Yeah.
What I was going to say was Austin Butler's performance grounded everything so much that you could have these wild characters and still have it feel real. At least that's what I got out of it.
I see. Yeah. Austin Butler felt like the guy. Like I distinctly remember, I think it was him running through running away from the Jewish guys and like sprinting And the Austin Butler sprint was it was pretty impressive. I'm going to be honest. Like,
it's right up there. I mean, it might be above a Tom Cruise.
It was athletic. That's what I'm saying. And I mean, very realistic where you're like, that guy's running for his life.
Yeah.
You know, but he gets through the.
And that guy knows how to run.
Yeah.
Like that guy is a baseball player.
Yeah.
You know, like the slide and everything too.
And all that stuff Austin Butler actually did, like him going over the counter and sliding underneath the forklift and stuff. He actually performed those.
Yeah. I believe it. The dude moves like Craven the Hunter is what Austin Butler actually moves like.
Austin Butler has
that was a bad casting.
Blood of the beast.
Craven the Hunter, bad casting. Should have gone with Austin Butler.
Yeah. I remember sitting in the movie and thinking, I 1000% believe that Austin Butler is this guy.
Yeah.
You know, like this guy exists. He's real. He is a broken baseball player. You know, his mom's a real person. You know, like all these things, this world that's been created is real.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a look deeper into Austin Butler. And ever since, Elvis, I've always kind of secretly thought Austin Butler was overrated.
Oh yeah.
Cause it was like, everyone thinks his Elvis was like the perfect, you know, and that he was amazing and everything else. And, you know, I saw the performance was great. It was good. But I'm just like, is he that good? You know? But I feel like this is up there with some of the best performances I've ever seen.
Yeah, and this is a big year for him because he also did Eddington, which we thought was a standout performance for like his 5 minutes on screen. Like Austin Butler is really turning out to be an incredible actor, and taking these parts where, you know, it's a kind of a, you know, there's no IP behind it. Well, there is a book, but there's not like a well-known character that he's embodying, you know, and making that such a believable performance, making it such a believable person throughout the whole movie. Like I didn't ever think that anybody really made you come out of the movie.
Yeah.
You know, like every performance made you go further and further into it, and it felt real. And I give Austin Butler big props for that because, like I said, his performance was kind of grounding for me.
Yeah, and he was in every single scene, you know, of the movie. And this movie is like, it's not a fast flick. There is quite a journey that happens, and most of the time with a type of journey like this, that's not like an epic, you know, saga or fantasy film or whatnot. Usually a movie that takes this long to tell one story it drags. And I could see this movie dragging for some people, but I was in it throughout the movie, even though like it was just like crazy thing after crazy thing after crazy thing, and you just keep on going more and more and more deeper into this story, and logically it just continued to make sense. It wasn't like, oh, we're still here, we're still trying to figure this out. It just continued to move. Yeah,
and like you said, there were so many crazy things happening that it was almost like one-upping itself throughout the movie, but not to the extent where it was like annoying, you know? And there was obviously the climax, or what I felt was the climax, when happened like really early when Zoe Kravitz character gets killed. Like that,
it was definitely a crux.
Yeah, that like shocked me. You know, it totally, because it was a fairly like fun kind of movie up until that point. And you thought that they all had plot armor, you know, like especially from the previews, like I thought Zoe Kravitz was going to have a huge part and that his neighbor Russ was going to have a huge part too. And they were minute, you know, it was really just following this one character.
Yeah. There's so much development that happens in this film, like around Austin Butler, and Austin Butler did an amazing job, you know, acting, but you have to give credit to the story and the script as well. And the filmmaking, because like just from the very beginning of setting the tone of him as the bartender, closing up the bar for the night, Zoe Kravitz coming up, and them, you know, having their moment of like, hey, we really like each other. This is kind of a fling thing, but we actually do like each other type thing. Even the sex scene, I'm going to be honest, like there isn't very many sex scenes in movies that I'm just like, dang, that was pretty good.
And it was short. Like it was to the point.
It was short and to the point, but like in the moment I was like, wow, like this is freaking emotional. Like this is an intense like scene where, and that I feel like that at that point, it really drew me into like, this feels very real, you know, in comparison to other movies that it's just kind of a thing. Like it didn't, like, I feel like this sex scene like added depth to these characters in a way that you're like, oh, like this like, isn't just a one night stand. Like these guys like each other.
Yeah.
Like this is deep, you know?
Like for example, when they undress, like they had their race to undress, like that's a thing that they know each other like very well. That it's not just like a couple times that they've hooked up or anything.
Yeah, it was a good tone setting moment. But yeah, the death of Zoe Kravitz. Yeah, Yvonne. What's her name? Regina?
Yvonne.
Yeah. Her death was a shocking moment, and it was like kind of early in the film, and it does change the tone of, oh, he's going to kind of get out of this. You know, like this is kind of a funny situation that comes up, and, you know, unfortunate that he has the cat, but they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, his girlfriend is dead, just shot.
Well, and like up until that point, I mean, he got beat up and everything, but I think he's like starting to think that it's kind of a game, you know, like a riddle to solve or something. And he's almost having fun with it when he drops the cat off with her, you know, and then it's just so shocking. Like you don't see it coming. He doesn't see it coming. His reaction to it is so realistic too.
Yeah. I can't remember her name. The detective.
It's
I don't know. But she has a really good part in this movie as well. Just the reveals of this are interesting. You know, you go through a bunch of different series of reveals that shape everything around the movie, and even just like the torture he goes through and everything else. And then you have the resolution of him, you know, leaving, starting a new life, and closing the door on the grief of, you know, killing his friend. It's just well-rounded, and that it just blows my mind that it hasn't performed as well as it should have.
Yeah, I don't know why it hasn't. But going back to your point about the ending, you know, and like him waking up to the nightmares of him crashing the car with his friend, you know, and just feeling all of that responsibility for that. And Yvonne at one point saying like, you can't keep running from your past or whatever. And he's like, I was in a car accident. How do I stop running from that?
Yeah.
And then that's how he gets out of the situation with the money, is by essentially causing the exact same car crash. just so poetic, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, unexpected. That's what was interesting about this movie. You go into it thinking you have an idea of what it's going to be, the pacing that it's going to be, the tone that it's going to be, and it just really is something different. And maybe that's why people don't like it.
Yeah.
Or didn't like it as much as they should have.
I think that's why I liked it.
I mean, that's why I liked it too. Even the nightmares at the beginning were a little bit jarring and kind of, I didn't like them. I was just like, that was weird. I don't like that that's happening. And I don't like how it was shot. I don't like the feeling of it.
Yeah.
But then it comes together at the end that it makes the movie. Like, it's such an integral part of Austin Butler's character of Hank that it has to be there. But yeah, like all the reveals I thought were just perfectly timed and good.
Plus there was a reference to the black and white cookie, which at least in Seinfeld, he raves about the black and white cookie and how it brings the black and the white together, and then he eats the black and white cookie and he gets sick from it. Vomit free since 93. He's not vomit free anymore. And in this movie, she's eating the black and white cookie, doing a monologue about the black and white cookie. And that's when it's revealed that she's a bad cop and she set him up. So I don't know, black and white cookie theory. I don't know if that's a thing, but
Toast is like all into these big conspiracy theories. You're like, big seatbelt. And then we have the black and white cookie. It took me so long to figure out what you were talking about.
As soon as I saw him, like what he was going to do with that van, crashing it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is an advertisement for Big Seatbelt.
You just have like the Dare Dog come out after that.
Everybody gets a ribbon when they walk out of the theater.
Buckle up. Yeah. Sweet. Well, should we give this thing a rating? You have anything else that you want to talk about? I mean, there's so much that you can talk about with this thing, but
well, just I don't know. It was a fun movie. Watching it, I think I wasn't having as much fun as I thought I would going into it. The previews were so much more like fast paced. Mm-hmm. I thought it was going to be. I didn't think there was going to be that much to the story. Honestly, I thought it was just going to be like a run and gun sort of thing. And it turned into something so much more. So I'm going to give it a 4.5.
4.5.
As we've talked about it, I gave it an additional 0.5.
Dang. Wow. Almost a 5. Almost as good as it gets.
It's about as close as you can get.
Well, as I was watching this, it was completely unexpected. I think from the trailers, I definitely had interest in seeing it, but it did feel like a story that's been told. And maybe that's why people didn't get run to the theater to see it. I also was interested in the Austin Butler performance. I mean, he was in Bikers. Mm-hmm. And I thought his performance was okay there. So I was interested to see what he did in this one. Because like everyone says he's so great. Mm. And so this movie definitely solidified the idea that Austin Butler is an incredible actor and can move a script. I thought everything kind of came together in this. Aronofsky did a really good job bringing the right people into the right spots and created a world that felt like the 1990s, the late 1990s. It was, I feel like, as good as it gets as taking you into a world that was. And so I am going to give it, I'm going to have to give it at least a 4.5.
Whoa, same score.
Yeah, we've had the same score the last, Weapons in this one. I just feel like you can't go too much less than that for this. I mean, I don't see what everyone else is seeing if they don't like this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't either. For me, it was a great story. Very character driven, which I like. You know, you get to see such a range of emotions and situations, which is always cool to see. Plus, New York City in the 90s, you know, the grunginess of it. It's a romantic place.
Yeah. A lot of people die in this film.
That they do.
And that doesn't happen all the time.
And it's, yeah, a lot of people die in this film. One thing that we didn't mention that I noticed during the film was it seems like pretty much all the people who died up until the very end were like anybody that was a minority around him.
What about the bar owner?
That's true. I did forget about him.
I think it's anybody that was close to Austin
Just
Butler.
anybody
like
who knew
he
them.
was able to disappear because there was 0 people left that knew him.
Yeah.
That like were close to him, that cared about him.
Yeah. A lot of people died. And Laura Dern did not.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will see you guys in the next one.